Yeah, here we go, I'm TJQUaKe, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing.
But what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back once again with some craziness for your ear. Yes, today we are bringing up the wide craziness that's going on with a movie called The Woman King. That's right, The Woman King. The Woman King. Go figure. I thought they were called queens. Huh. I don't know. I thought that's what it was called. Women are queens, men are kings. But I guess these women are men now. And so they're called kings. I don't know. I'm trying to still figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. We live in this new age where everything's backwards. So, so we're going to talk about The Woman King. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. TJQUaKe is finally coming up on this one. A big topic that a lot of people are getting into right now because of all the craziness that's going on with this movie and the history of the Amazon Dahomey kingdom. So that's what we're going to get into, and we're going to break down the flow because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to teach you and show you the truth behind the Dahomey kingdom. Yeah, because see, my channel is like a channel that I like to almost like start calling more so unveiling the hypocrisy of the left and everything, and of the wokety wokes and the SJWs out there of this country that is being ruled now by Democrats who want to fool you into thinking that they're for you when they are not. They are all about dividing us, conquering us. And this is just something that they always do. And they use black people and the history of black people to divide us. They don't really want blacks and whites getting along, because the Democrats never were for it in the first place. If you guys all remember the Jim Crow era and going further back, these white flipping Democrats, were always against black people coming together with whites. They weren't for it. They've been pissed off ever since the Civil War when the Republicans freaking beat them. That's right, the Republicans, who, actually freed the slaves, not these leftist Democrats that were back in the day. Oh, no, they just changed their tactics, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, they act like they're the party for blacks and indigenous and Indians and all this shit. They're for the colored people now and everything, when really they're not. They do stuff to divide us. This movie is another one of those propaganda things, and it's partially a feminazi things to divide women against men. Because that's really what this is, and so forth. And you guys are going to find that out. So I like to show the hypocrisy of these people and everything. And it's kind of becoming a big thing on what I do on this channel a lot, is I like to show you guys and show you the real deal. The thing that the left-wing media will never show you. And there's plenty of other channels out there that do the same thing I'm doing and everything. So get used to it, ladies and gentlemen, because all you flipnecks out there who are for this woke freaking bullshit, we're about to blow your mind with truth. See, in school, they didn't tell us the true real history behind slavery. We only learned a portion of it. Only it was a half truth. They didn't tell you the other part, which I'm about to get into right now, because this movie, once again, is one of those type of things that's hypocritical. It's going to tell you that these Dahomey Amazon women, and granted, women, you notice how they call it woman? Like all of a sudden now they know what a woman is? Because before they're up there saying they don't know what a woman is.
You provide a definition for the word woman.
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Oh, wait. A woman. Well, a woman's whatever you think it is. Okay. So now we got the woman king. She wasn't a king. She wasn't even a queen. And so forth. She was a warrior. They should have called this, the woman warrior or the woman warriors. That's what they should have said. And everything, but no, they want to, bring it in like, oh no, the women are now are stronger than men, and they're the kings instead of being queens, which is what the normal situation would have been in Africa. Africa was not calling their women kings. They were calling them queens. And everything. But we live in woke America now and so forth. So go ahead. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you guys a quick little flow of the woman king. And see, and I'm about to show you what's stupid about this. I'm about to go into the real history. Oh yeah. Oh, because they got you thinking something different, you guys. Here, let's go and see what these guys actually got you guys thinking that these women were about. Everything. You're about to find out the real truth. And the left don't like it. They don't like it when we show this shiz. Let's show a little bit of their hypocrisy, some of the mess that they're lying about.
An evil is coming that threatens our kingdom.
Now, right there, I'm going to stop it right there. You notice the evil, if you can see right here. There's the evil. The evil is the white man. Okay, so there's your first point that they want to push out there, ladies and gentlemen. The white man is the evil that's coming. But what they don't tell you is that the real evil is the Dahomey kingdom, because the white man, he was invited. Oh yeah, he was invited. He was invited to come and do some trades, a thing called the Great Slave Trade. Oh yeah, it was all over the world, everything. But let's go on more with their lie.
Our freedom.
Of their freedom.
But we have a weapon. They are not prepared for.
My king, the Europeans wish to conquer us.
My king, the Europeans wish to conquer us. No, the Europeans came there to trade with you. Yeah, they came there to trade with you, called the slave trade. Yeah, remember, you guys are the ones that promoted slavery because they were going around conquering all their tribal brethren across the Atlantic Ocean there. Yeah, along the Atlantic coast of Africa. Yeah. Oh yeah, they didn't want to tell you that part though. Oh yeah. No, we'll get into what the white man started doing when things started to end. When things started to end. Let's go ahead.
They will not stop until the whole of Africa is theirs. We must fight back for our people.
Aneska, you are asking me to take them to war. War.
Some things are worth fighting for.
And no, she says some things are worth fighting for, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to find out what they were fighting for. And it wasn't freedom. It wasn't to save their continent from the white man. Oh, no. You're about to find out what they really were fighting for. It's going to blow your mind.
You are called to join the King's Guard. No kingdom in all of Africa shares this privilege. Train hard, fight harder. We fear no one.
You see the unrealism right there? This woman, the little teeny small girl, okay? Let's get back to that. I want to show you that real quick. She flips that big ass dude over her shoulders. Look how small she is compared to how big that dude was. She literally was able to like crawl around his body. He was so big. She was able to, roll around him like she was a little squirrel on a tree. And everything. Have you ever seen a squirrel flip a human being over after swirling around them and then flips them over? No, that couldn't have been done. Couldn't have been happened. It wouldn't have happened. But this little squirrel does. Flips over a big old dude. I don't care how much momentum she had. There wouldn't have been no way in the world she would have flipped that big ass dude over. But no, these women are stronger than men.
And we feel
Look at this one.
pain.
Now, mind you, look how big this dude is here, and look how small she is. right? Now, this is something that the men taught. They trained like this. So other men would go up against other men against that spear. You see the thickness of this man compared to the thickness of this woman? This thing's got to go a lot further through him before it has to go further to her. But by the time they start moving, this shit will be all the way through this girl already and so forth. But for some reason, this happens.
I offer you a choice. Fight or we die.
So she wins. He all of a sudden becomes, this is a warrior, mind you. These men have been fighting for who knows how many battles, going against crazy ass shiz. And he can't handle going up against this little woman with a spear going into his shoulder blade right here, but she can handle it and he couldn't. If that's the case, shoot, the men should stop fighting, period. The men should just stop fighting. He should give up his position and give it to her because he sucks. If he can't handle it against her, he ain't gonna be able to handle it against nobody and so forth. That's the way I look at it. You're a punk. Everything. If you let that little thing beat you and this big old dude and everything with the mass that he's got on him and so forth, that thing's got to go through more muscle before it has to go through half what she got. She ain't got the muscle that dude had. As you can see, the wide span, the width of his from his shoulder back and everything, he had way more width from here back. She didn't. Everything. Yet he lost. Okay. So I just pick out those little knickknacks just for the beginning of some of the stupidness of this movie already and everything. Yes, these women did exist. Yes, they did. They existed big time. But what they did was not what you guys actually think they did.
Ready for war. Where you at?
To be a warrior, you must kill your tears.
We are the spear of victory. We are the blade of freedom. We are Dahomey.
Now remember that. They are Dahomey. Let's find out who the Dahomey is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out what they really are about. Because they weren't about what you see in this movie. Oh yeah, they were some women. They were true Amazon warriors, ladies and gentlemen. True Amazon warriors. So that is no lie. I ain't taking that away from. They were actually very competitive fighters, actually. So they did put up a fight. These women were trained by men. Everything. They showed them how to be this way. They became bodyguards to their partners, actually, and so forth. But let's go ahead. Let's go right here, and I'm going to show you real quick, a little history lesson right here. Let's get into a real history lesson about the Dahomey historical kingdom of Africa, shall we? Let's go around her, shall we? Let's go around her and everything. Because, ladies and gentlemen, people need to know what they're really going to see, and you're about to find out what a lot of black people why they're boycotting is, because you know that this movie Boycott the Woman King is all over Twitter right now. And it's not white people saying this. These are black people saying this. These are black people who are saying boycott this movie. And you're going to find out why they want to boycott this movie, as I'm about to read to you right here and everything. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that. Oh yeah, I hope y'all ready for a history lesson, real quick history lesson, because it needs to be shown. It needs to be shown, ladies and gentlemen. So here it is, Dahomey, historical kingdom of Africa. Dahomey, kingdom in the Western Africa that flourished in the 18th and 19th centuries in the region that is now southern Benin. And excuse me if I don't get these names right, because it's hard to pronounce a lot of these African names. According to tradition, at the beginning of the 17th century, three brothers vied for the kingdom of Alada, which, like neighboring Wada, had grown rich in the slave trade. Mind you, the slave trade. They'd grown rich in it. These African countries right here. When one of the brothers won control of Alada, the other two fled. One went southeast and founded Porto Nova on the coast east of Wida. The other, Duaklin, went north to found the kingdom of Obome, which we're now going to find out, core of the future Dahomey. Ajega, eager to buy arms from European traders on the Gulf of Guinea, conquered Aleda, 1724, and Wida, 1727, where European forts had already been established. The enlarged state was called Dahomey. Obome, Alada, and Wada were in its provinces. Monarchy unique in Africa, the king surrounded by magnificent routine was the unchallenged peninsula of a rigidly stratified society of royalty, commoners, and slaves. He governed through centralized bureaucracy staffed by commoners who could not threaten his authority. Each male official in the field had a female counterpart at court who monitored his activities and advised the king. Conquered territories were assimilated through intermarriage, uniform laws, and common tradition of enmity to Yoruba. Dahomey was organized for war, not only to expand its boundaries, but also to take captive as slaves. Europeans, in exchange for weapons, are kept to work the royal plantations that supplied food for the army and court. See, they had royal plantations that they put slaves on. From approximately 1680, a regular census of the population was taken as a basis for military conscription. Female soldiers called Amazons by the Europeans served as royal bodyguards when not in combat. Gezu heightened the splendor of the court, encouraged the arts, and refined the bureaucracy. His armies freed Dahomey from humiliation of paying tribute to Oyo. After about 1840, however, the kingdom's fortunes changed as Britain succeeded in putting an end to the overseas slave trade. Let's repeat that. His fortunes changed, okay? This is the tribes here of Dahomey, right, ladies and gentlemen. This fortunes changed when Britain succeeded in putting an end to the overseas slave trade. So he's like, wait a minute, y'all stopping this now? No, this is how we making our money off of trading our people to you Europeans, you white devils. Gezu accomplished a smooth transition to palm oil export. Slaves, instead of being sold, were kept to work palm plantations. Yeah. Plantations sound familiar? They were putting them to, they captured other neighboring, Africans, and they put them into slavery, ladies and gentlemen. And then they sold them over to the white man for goodies. For gunpowder and guns and incense and all these different type of things that these tribes wanted, and said, well, hey, we got all these people that we conquered and we already got them as slaves working our plantation. We'll trade them over to you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, most of us that are here on this in the United States right now that are black, that derive from black slavery and all that, you guys can thank these guys right here, the Dahomey Kingdom and everything. Yeah. So, now what started happening after that is Gezu accomplished a smooth transition to palm oil exports. Slaves, instead of being sold, were kept to work palm plantations. Palm oil was far less lucrative than slaves. However, an economic decline followed under Gezu's successor, Glile, when the French won control of Porto Nova and Contanoa and attracted coastal trade there. Commerce of Wado collapsed after an accession of Benhazin. Hostilities were participated in the 1892 French expedition under Colonel Alfred Amity Dodds defeated the Dahomeans and established a protectorate. Behazin was deported to the West Indies. His former kingdom was absorbed into the French colony of Dahomey with its capital at Porto Nova. Now, the suppression of the slave trade comes to this. Two major changes occurred in 1840s through 1850s, which significantly altered the politics of Dahomey. Okay. The first one consisted of diplomatic pressure by British government on the kingdom of Dahomey to abolish the slave trade. Okay. So the British were trying to abolish Dahomey's slave trade in the early 19th century. This coincided with a period of British colonial expansion in the region. And while Britain dispatched numerous diplomatic parties to Gazo to try to convince him to end Dahomey's participation, okay, in the slave trade. We were trying to help Dahomey. Come on, Dahomey. Come on, Dahomey. We need you guys to end this slave trade. You know, stop throwing your people over into the slave trade. We're done with that. Oh, the Dahomey people didn't want to do that. So well, here we go. Dahomey to abolish the slave trade and blah, blah, blah. The Britain dispatched numerous diplomatic parties. So they were trying to convince him and everything. All these rebuffed with Gazel worried of the political consequences of ending such a participation in the slave trade. Secondly, the city of Abokota was founded in 1825 and rose to prominence as a safe haven for people to be safe from the slave raids by Dahomey. So they created this other area for people to be free of the Dahomeys trying to put them into slavery. That's what it just said right now. I'll say it again. Secondly, the city Abeokuta was founded in 1825 and rose to prominence as a safe haven. Okay, a sanctuary and everything. So the safe haven, prominence of safe haven for people to be safe from the slave raids by Dahomey. In 1844, Dahomey and Abeokuta went to war and Abeokuta was victorious. Other violence in the early 1850s further cemented Abeokuta's challenge to Dahomey's economic control in the region because Dahomey was trying to enslave their people. They were putting them into slavery and selling them over to the Europeans. So they went to war in that. When you see this movie, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be seeing them probably fighting certain people. Okay, continuing. So, right here, Dahomey, Abeokuta went to war when Abeokuta was victorious. Other violence in the early 1850s further cemented Abeokuta's challenge to Dahomey's economic control in the region. Eternally, the pressure resulted in a number of changes. Gazo rejected British requests for ending the slave trade. So Gazo, who was, head of Dahomey out there, he rejected the request to end the slave trade because guess what? Our black brethren, our African people, they wanted to keep the slave trade going. And these white devils tried to stop us from throwing our own people into slavery. How could these evil demons do this to us black Africans? All we wanted to do is put our own people into slavery and kill them and slaughter them. That's all. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you guys want to hear the real story? Here it is and everything. So Gazo rejected the British request for ending the slave trade, but at the same time began expanding significantly the palm oil trade as an economic alternative. Politically, the debate became centered around two political factions, the elephant and the fly. The elephant connected with Gazo, high-profile political leaders, and the Creole slave traders like the family of De Zoza pushed for continued activity in the slave trade and resistance to British pressure. The Fly faction, in contrast, was a loose collection of palm oil producers and some chieftains which supported accommodations with Abeokuta and the British in order to expand palm oil trade. At policy and war debates held at the annual customs, these two factions held a number of tense discussions about the future of the kingdom of Dahomey. That's right. The British imposed a naval blockade on the ports of Dahomey. So they put a naval blockade on the ports of Dahomey to stop the trade. In other words, we're not going to do any more trade with you guys on this. We're not taking any more slaves. We're done with that. In order to force them to end the slave trade. Let's see that again. British imposed a naval blockade on the ports of Dahomey in order to force them to end slave trade. In January 1852, Gazo accepted a treaty with the British ending the export of slaves from Dahomey. And the same year, okay, and the following one, Gazo suspended large-scale military campaigns and human sacrifice. So they used to have these celebrations, ladies and gentlemen, where they sacrificed their slaves. Yeah. You think the black people had it bad when they got to the Americas? Oh no. We were much better off going there than if we would have stayed in slavery under these motherfuckers, because they had celebrations. They sacrificed black people, African people to the voodoo god who was called Voodoo, I believe, and so forth. Basically, voodoo, aka voodoo, and everything, and they would sacrifice them to that. They would have celebrations for it. They would kill the young or they would kill the old and the sick right off the bat, and so forth. They massacred other black Africans, as well as put them into slavery and worked their royal fields. That's what the Dahomey Amazon women were doing to the other neighboring tribes, as they were doing this to them on a 24/7 basis and everything, right? So again, Gazo suspended large-scale military campaigns and human sacrifice of the kingdom. However, political pressure contributed to the resumption of slave trading and large-scale military action in 1857 and 1858. Gazo was assassinated by a sniper associated with the Apakuda, and large-scale warfare between the two states resumed in 1864. This one ended, and again in favor of the Apakuda. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it all weird. And the result was that the slave trade could not be significantly reestablished to its 1850 level. The power of slave traders in the empire decreased, and the palm oil trade became a more significant part of the economy. There you have it. And so forth, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. And everything. And these Dahomeys, they basically had their women coming in there fighting these battles and taking people in slavery. And of course, they fought against the French because the French started coming in there trying to stop it too, and so forth. But the Amazon women lost against the French. Oh yeah, they lost hugely. Yeah, did Dahomey trade slaves? It says there was a kingdom of Dahomey, and one of the ways in which the kingdom became very wealthy was that they did capture their enemies and sell them to European slave traders. A lot of this was going on in West Africa at the time. Oh, yeah, I wonder how that happened. Did the Dahomey Amazons sell slaves? Notable in the Kingdom of War's significant artwork, an all-female military unit called the Dahomey Amazons by European observers, and the elaborate religious practices of voodoo, which is aka voodoo. The growth of Dahomey coincided with the growth of the Atlantic slave trade, and it became known to Europeans as a major supplier of slaves. That's right, the Dahomey Amazon women were a participant in the slave trade. They were fighting to keep slavery. The French and the British were fighting against them to stop it, not to go over there and freaking try to take over their land and so forth. Yeah, they did come in there and start colonizing afterwards and so forth, but that was only because the Dahomeys let them. Because the Dahomeys were trading with the Europeans. They said, come on over. Wait a minute. Why aren't you guys coming over? Why aren't you guys want to trade with us anymore? We got more slaves we want to give you. Come on, we got more of our people we want you to take over there. We don't give a shit about them. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the real deal. That's what's really going on. But they don't want to show you that part of it, people. In the movie here, this ain't going to show that. This ain't going to show that. Yeah, they're going to show them fighting to save the freedom. They're fighting the white man in here. The woman king. There it is. Viola Davis is out there freaking ramping and raving about this, about how you should see this movie or you don't appreciate black women. You don't care about black women being strong supporting actresses and so forth. No, we just don't want to see the story about black women putting other blacks into slavery. You know, everybody blames the white man for what they did for this shit, but the black people, you guys want to get your reparations? Why don't you go to West Africa and ask them for your reparations? Because those are the motherfuckers that put us in slavery in the first damn place. But y'all don't want to go. Y'all don't want to go there. But I'm glad.
Of Dahomey sold other black people to the white man and then shipped them to the New World.
We do not talk much about slave trade, slavery, because for most of Beninese people, 300 years back is a lot. Those who have been to school know about slave trade, know about what happened to their brothers sold to the New World. And a few months back, we had the bicentenary of the death of King Agonglo. And Agonglo was said to be one of the kings who tried to stop slave trade. But of course, he did not succeed.
But he must have known how bad it was.
Yes, he knew. They knew how bad it was. Is a lot. Those
They're
who
not
in
heroes.
school know about slave trade, know about what happened to their brothers sold to the New World. And a few months back, we had the bicentenary of the death of King Agonglo. And Agonglo was said to be one of the kings who tried to stop slave trade. But of course, he did not succeed.
But he must have known how bad it was.
Yes, he knew. They knew how bad it was. That was why they didn't trade their own people. They would trade people from the wars and battles they did all around the country.
Almost 20% of all the slaves that came to the New World came from the Bight of Benin, from this very region. And the slave trade here was run by the kings of Dahomey, run far longer than any other aspect of the slave trade, all the way to 1885. So they knew what they were doing. So for me to go to the court of the king of Dahomey, as nice as the people are here and as much as I enjoyed it, was, for the descendant of one of those slaves, an unsettling experience.
See that mess, people? Everything? Unsettling experience, because he went to the very place where the very people that put us into slavery were these people here. They're the heads of the snake. And imagine there's black people out there that are seeing this. Look at all the memes on Twitter and everything. Look at this one right here. The Woman King fans looking up history of Dahomey. Yeah. That's the look. That's the look of when people find out what happens. Here's another one. Chief of Gold Coast and Ghana apologizes for their role in the slave trade. Hollywood, let's make a film that glorifies the African slave trade tribe that's responsible for selling close to 20% of all Africans to the New World. And here's the West Africans apologizing for it. But Hollywood want to make a fantasy about it. I'm apologizing. All the people sold your people. Oh, we sold our own people. I'm sorry. and into the slave trade. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is them actually admitting their history. They're telling us. But no, this is the part of history that we weren't taught in high school. I wasn't taught this in high school. I wasn't taught this in junior high. I was never taught about this part. Everything, you know? It's real funny. You see this right here? Right here, Antonio Moore. This is a plainly awful. This is plainly awful. Watch all 45 minutes of the History Channel documentary above. What has been done here? Woman King is beyond our collective understanding of disrespect. And he's showing right here in this little meme and everything of what they were doing back then. They were enslaving their own. And look at the sacrifices. Look what they did. See that little picture right there? Yeah, that's what they were doing. Oh yeah, they were enslaving our own. They were screwing our own up. Look at this shit. Look out for these people that are dead. Oh man, the Dahomies were freaking jacking foes up left and right and so forth. Yeah, you guys need to check this out. Go and check out this on the History Channel about this and everything. Y'all done lost your damn minds, this one guy says, Travis Johnson, talking about boycott Woman King. None of y'all have seen the film and know what it's about. Now, this is a guy that's for it, but he obviously doesn't know the history behind the Dahomey. Look at this black guy getting ready to kill that black guy. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Kind of taking the same ways that the Africans, we ain't changed a bit, have we? Look what we do in the hood, killing each other 24/7. And the white man's just sitting back going, look at these dumb black people. They're killing each other. Oh, don't do anything. Hey, let's do a thing where we say defund the cops so the cops won't go into their neighborhoods anymore. And then they'll wipe each other out. Yeah, that's how stupid some of you black people are. That's how stupid this dumb flip neck is and everything. You know, this guy comes in here, Earl Landix. My people, we have no reason to support this film. Let it fail. They are not our heroes. They are the villains. And he is dead straight about that. These people were not heroes. Everything. But we always want to freaking get on the white man. Oh, the white man did it, the white man. Look what they were doing to black people in our own freaking country. We suppose our homeland of Africa. Look what they were doing. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, start getting into your books and start getting into your history. Really start finding out what happened during the slave trade. Because the slave trade was all over the world. It wasn't just black people. They were putting white people into slavery. They were putting Indian people into slavery. The Arabs of the time were putting people into slavery. I mean, everybody was doing it. That's why the black man's everywhere around the world and everything. Because we were placed everywhere. And it started right here with these flip necks right here. Oh, they weren't the only ones. Shaka Zulu, oh, he was doing it too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they put their enemies and sold them to the slavers too, and so forth. Ain't no real thing. So they all knew what the dealio was. But ladies and gentlemen, the point of this video is to basically show that this movie here, The Woman King, is got a lot of falsehood in it. It's going to be a great action movie. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great. I haven't seen it yet and everything, but I already know a lot of the premises. I already know a lot of people that watched it, and they say it's glorifying freaking the black woman power and the women this and glorifying these Amazon women who said they were fighting for their freedom against the colonizers. No, they weren't. They were fighting to preserve slavery. That's what they're not showing you in this movie. They're not going to show you that they were fighting against slavery. They're showing you that they'll show that they were against it. They're going to say that they were against it, and that's not really what it was and everything. This guy right here, he's there in the actual area where they were selling black African kings and queens were selling, and you notice they didn't say the woman king. They didn't call him woman king. They said the black kings, the African king. She wasn't a king. So I don't know what the heck they come up with this called the woman king. But that's just more of that feminazi bullshit that you guys always get to see all the time and so forth. These people were technically our enemy. They're the enemy. Most black people in this, if they derived from the people from the new that came into through slavery, those were our enemies right there, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't the white man. It was them. The white man was only we were just a commodity. That's all we were. We were a commodity to the white man, and he could do with us as he willed and everything. And guarantee you, we got treated better here than we got treated in our homeland of Africa. Because over there, they would sacrifice us. They would kill. Man, wait till you see some of the real stuff that they were doing. It'll blow your freaking mind and everything. And these people on Twitter, they get it. You know what I'm saying? Dahomey kings presided over human sacrifices, beheadings, and slaves in their grand customs, and the TJQUaKe ceremony. The three ceremonies with a dual purpose pacifying the war god, honoring ancestors, and insensitivity training for female troops. So they were training their females to be very insensitive, to be out there, to be raw, and to go against their own kind and kill them and put them into slavery. Insensitive training, female recruits look on as Dahomean troops hurl bond prisoners of war to a mob below. So as you can see, they're throwing them over the mob. These right here, these are ongoing Dahomey Amazon women right here. And they're showing them what we do to our own people. Yep, this is what we do. And we're going to trade them to the white man, And then later on, we're going to have you guys go over there and fight the white man and to preserve our right to keep doing what we're doing. Because they didn't want to end it, ladies and gentlemen. These motherfuckers didn't want to end it. It's interesting. This one girl right here, Chanel, she says, don't know what the F y'all on, but I will absolutely be supporting John Boyega and Viola Davis. So this woman here would have been one of these women here. Any black person that is in agreement with this, what this movie's about, should be exactly what these people are here. They represent the evil that the homie women and these Africans were doing. They're for it. She obviously doesn't see this picture up here, and doesn't want to read the history about this shit. What are you guys on? We're on about the fact that you guys cry about slavery and what the white man's done to black people all this time, but you don't want to go to the head of the snake and find out who actually started the shit and everything. These motherfuckers started it. The homie freaking Amazon black bitches started it. And that's why I call them black bitches and everything. Because they're the reason why we got put in slavery in the first place. And you guys are all glorifying it. Like it's if it's, you guys just don't want to respect the black woman. Man, fuck you on that bullshit and everything. These people are the epitome of freaking evil. And you guys been crying about slavery for I don't know how motherfucking long. And all you ever want to do is point at the white man for it. He was implicit in it. Yes, he was part of the freaking evil as well. The motherfuckers back in the day. Them freaking Democrats you vote for every freaking time. You know what I'm saying? Those motherfuckers. Yeah, that's who you voting for. You voting for the very people who were cool with this. The people that went over there and bought the slaves in the beginning. And so forth. And then guess what? Some evil white man decided to say, guess what? I want to stop this slavery thing. Yeah, because he's evil. And so the poor Dahomey kingdom and the Amazon Dahomey women there, oh no, they're trying to stop slavery. How can this be, these evil white bastards? That's what you guys are all for. And everything. Learn your real history, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got to say. Learn your real history and everything. What's this guy say, Nas? On one hand, the actress says the Woman King is historical. It's real, but when promoting this movie, they never discussed the real history that the Dahomey were African slave traders. The movie does not sit right with my soul. That's because all these motherfuckers right here, they're a bunch of Hollywood freaking fake-ass lying heifers. As far as I'm concerned, they all think they're all for Africa, Africa, Africa. Yo, black asses were sold by them same freaking people. Your ancestors were the freaking, yes, the ones that they lost against the Dahomey. All you black people on here right now, in this little scene right here, every last one of y'all has an ancestor who was actually was enslaved by the Dahomey. And you guys up there acting like these people are your heroes. Your heroes? These are the people that were crucifying your people. They tried to kill us and then sell us over to the freaking white man. And you're happy about it. Yeah, look at us clap about it. Dumbasses, ladies and gentlemen. Dumbasses. And so forth. But that's how stupid the woke leftist got everybody. Here's your stupid cast right here. Here's all your stupid dumbass cast right here. All these flickering. I can't believe John Boyega. And you want to know what's so funny? Viola Davis, she wasn't actually the first one that was supposed to be a part of that was supposed to be the person for this role. They actually had another chick, Lanita, or something like that. I forgot what her full name. I gotta find that. There was another black woman who was actually going to play the role of this. And when she found out the history of the Dahomey, she said, not tonight, not me. I'm not doing it. And so forth. I'm not going to be a part of this freaking evil. I'm not going to be represented in this. She says it's a bad idea. And she turned down the role. Turned it down. Yes. Turn down the role, ladies and gentlemen, because she has she has a real soul. She has real heart. She knows that this shit was evil, and she's not going to play the part of and play into a lie and try to make it seem like these Dahomey freaking soldier Amazon women were nice women. No, they were freaking out there for the trade of slaves. They were trained by the men who freaking put them into that position. And they were all for it. And guess what? They lost. They lost horribly and everything. They didn't win the war against the French. The French freaking destroyed them. The French took them out. And so forth. They completely destroyed them. Everything. The Amazon women lost that whole freaking fight and everything. And if I can get to it, and I'll end this right now. Here's pictures of what the Dahomey tribes look like. Give you a little view on this, and then I'm going to end this bad boy. So here's pictures of the real Dahomey, the history of the Kingdom of Dahomey, Black History Month. Yeah, Black History Month. Wonderful to have this as part of our history. These people. Yeah, these women right here, they weren't who you thought they were, ladies and gentlemen. They were not who you thought they were. Look at this nice little shot. Yeah. Here we go. Mode of execution at Dahomey. The blood drinker waiting with his calabash to drink. So they're going to cut this guy's head off. They got this guy with a bowl in his hand, and he's going to put the blood into the bowl. Because this is part of voodoo, you ladies and gentlemen, and everything. This is our heritage and everything. This is stuff you guys are all proud of and so forth. I bet you they don't show this in the movie and everything. Oh yeah, about to cut his head off. Here's that same picture, them throwing our people over walls. The Dahomey soldiers right here looking on. Oh, this is wonderful. Love it. Love it. Look at this shiz. You guys want to see our people enslaved? Here's the Dahomeys putting our people in slavery. Look at that. There's that African right there. What's that in his hand? What's that in his hand, ladies and gentlemen? What is that? Can we get a good look at that? I want to get a good look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nice little whip. I like that. Yeah. See that? Wonder who's holding the whips in Africa. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, that's what these flip necks were doing, though. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And everything. Beautiful. Just love seeing our own people enslave our own. And so forth. This is great stuff here. Yeah. Look at this guy right here. Here's a soldier in Nigeria right here. History of the slave trade in Nigeria. Here's a Nigerian right here. And look at black people in shackles and got these things around their necks and so forth. He's holding the gun. Get along. Come on, Negro. Yeah. Go on, Negro. They're gonna be calling you that a lot over there in the new world. Yeah, we're sending you over there with those white devils. We're gonna put you over there. So far. Yeah. Yeah, this is our people, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrating, and we're celebrating it. Lovely. There's your Dahomey warriors right there, your Dahomey Amazon women, who all, by the way, perished by the French. The French destroyed every last one of them. Here's another shot of them right here. Everything. Holding up the guns and so forth. Yeah. No, they weren't fighting against who you think they were fighting against, people. No, that's not what they were doing. They were fighting to make sure that we stayed in slavery. And they wanted to keep slavery going. They wanted that slave trade to keep going and going and going because they didn't want to stop it. That's what these fools are really about. That's who these people really were about. Everything. They weren't about helping us out, helping their stopping the white man from taking over the colony. If they were so concerned about the white man colonizing their land, they would have stopped the white man from coming into the coast of their land. They would have been fighting. They would have united with all the other tribes of Africa to fight against the white man. But instead, we do like what black people do today. We divide against ourselves and we jack each other over. And then we want to point at the white man for doing it. Well, it's because the white man, because, he's the one that did, he still, you got black people today they still in slavery. We ain't free. Jesse Peterson had some guy on there the other night and they're talking about anything. Well, I'm a free black. No, we ain't free. We ain't free. Black people ain't free. Wow, could have fooled me. Everything. And last I checked, I didn't have any shackles on me or anything. I wasn't being whipped and everything. But you see, they always want to say it's the white man that's doing it. But nobody ever wants to go back to the history of when these fools started doing this shit. And that's my whole point, ladies and gentlemen, is that the white man had his part in it too. And he definitely was an evil punk in the slave and what he did to us here in the New World, here in America. But the white man ended it before the Dahomies and the rest of the Nigerians and the Zulus and the rest of them fools out there that were conquering other tribes and then selling them over to the Europeans for ching-ching. We were no different then than we are now, dude. You got the Hootsies and the Tootsies pretty much slaughtering each other. Millions of our own people and everything. This is what black people do to each other. But then we want to point and look at the white man. Oh, the cops are killing all of our black people. And then you go over there in this hood and you see nothing but black people killing black people all day long. They ain't got nothing to say about that. BLM don't come around and say nothing. Ain't not one time has BLM ever held a funeral or any type of march for poor little Lashika over here who got shot by Tyrone and his boys rolling down the street shooting them. Nobody's coming out for that. I got plenty of videos showing these fools doing shit to each other. Plenty of it. But the mainstream media will never show you that shit because they want to hide it. They want to make it look like, no, come on, people, keep hating the white man. Keep hating the white man and keep segregating. You guys want to segregate? Yeah, keep on doing that. You want to segregate yourself from us evil white people and everything. You don't want to be around white people. No, they don't want to be around you, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to be around you. These evil Democrats really don't want you around them. And proof was in the pudding when DeSantis sent the migrants over to Martha's Vineyard. Oh, yeah, them rich folks didn't want them. You know how quickly they kicked them out of Martha's Vineyard, but they were supposed to be a safe haven for refugees and immigrants and all this. They were welcoming. We're a sanctuary city. They got signs and stuff on their website. Go check Martha Vineyard's website out, how they talk about how they're welcoming they are. Funny how they couldn't welcome at least 50 people and house them and take care of them there. Texas takes care of thousands of thousands and so forth. But the daggum Martha's Vineyard, no, they got them on a plane and kicked them out. Try to act like they were friends all, oh, we're going to miss you guys. You should see the video of them freaking saying kumbaya to them when they're leaving, when really they were happy. This one lady was up there saying, we don't really have the resources to be able to hold all these people here and blah, blah, blah. And then there's another video a few hours later, oh, I'm going to miss you guys. You guys have a good one. Bye. Bye. Good riddance. Goodbye. All happy and acting like they're happy because they're leaving. They weren't happy because they were missing them. And they're like, oh, we're going to miss you guys. No. They're happy because they're getting the illegals out of their out of their little part of the state. Out of their nice little plush little area. Everybody's calling it freaking, oh, this is just preposterous. I can't believe that these people, the DeSantis would do such an evil thing. These people didn't know where they're going. No, they knew exactly where they're going. To America. Martha's Vineyard is in America. And so forth. And these people want to act like that they were just going someplace foreign. Of course they're going someplace foreign. But every place in America is foreign to them. They've never been here. So what's the problem, Martha's Vineyard? Oh, that's right, because you guys are showing us your true colors now and everything. You're showing us who the real racists are. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the whole point to my whole video here. Stop freaking looking and being so narrow-minded to what these Democrats want to show you. Stop letting Hollywood show you bullshit and everything. As this brother right here likes to say. And check this out and I'll end it right here.
This movie will have you crying and cheering, and it will remind you at how far we have come, black people, as a black people. The Woman King, baby. Don't mess with The Woman King. It is a must-see. I ain't gonna spoiler alert. I won't spoil it, but I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm not gonna spoiler alert.
Vitalized for the damn fight. Keep the faith. Keep the fight.
Nina Turner is exactly the kind of people I'm referring to when I talk about the religion of Blackism. She's one of its priestesses. But understand this, the god of Blackism is actually white Marxists. It's important to point that out because these are the same people who talk about, oh, you need to watch this movie, especially if you're black. This is for us as black folks. However, the fact is, if you go to Nina Turner's Twitter, and you read all of her tweets, you'll see that everything that she says is right in alignment with the Communist Manifesto. The father of communism is Karl Marx. If you read what he had to say about black people, you'll see that he wasn't really a fan. But that doesn't matter to blacktivists like Nina Turner because they keep peddling his rhetoric. So instead of watching The Woman King, which is just as foolish as The Tiger King, why don't you go on over to UncleTom.com and watch Uncle Tom 2, which is actually exposing people like Nina Turner who are using the religion of blackness to destroy America.
And that's all I got to say, people. There it is. Hope y'all learned a little something and everything. On the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm TJQUaKE. That's right. And I come to you real with the real shiz. I'm going to put it in your face. I'm going to let you guys know what it's all about. And right here, The Woman King is a bunch of bullshit. Izzo. I'm out. You know how I do.
Here we go, I'm TJQUaKE, the ghetto gamer. Yeah. Here we go, I'm TJQUaKE, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing. Gonna bang 'em up, gonna shoot 'em up, right here on the gaming string. Bang, bang, blaze it on up, TJQUaKE, we're busting like the 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Let's get into this, y'all. Yeah. TJQUaKE, the ghetto gaming show.